Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of Rouse IAS. Here we take up important articles from the Hindu and the Indian Express and curate MCQs as per the demand of the Civil Services exam. Articles covered today are shown in the screen and the detailed description in PDF and Word format can be found on the description box. So let us begin. Starting off with the first article of the day. This article appeared on page 4 of the Hindu newspaper. The article reports that the National Green Tribunal has ordered the District Magistrate of Darjeeling to pay a compensation of rupees 20 lakhs each to the kin of 3 deceased persons engaged in illegal mining in Siliguri of West Bengal. Constitutional, statutory as well as quasi-judicial authorities have been asked by UPSC before, which is apparent from this PYQ of the year 2018. On similar lines, here's practice question number 1. With the reference to National Green Tribunal, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It is a statutory body created under the Environment Protection Act of 1986. Now this statement is incorrect because the National Green Tribunal was established in the year 2010 under the National Green Tribunal Act of the same year. Statement 2. Only those cases are resolved by the tribunal which are referred by the Ministry of Environment. Now this statement again is incorrect because the tribunal can take the suo motu cognizance of a case. Statement 3. Under no condition protection of wildlife could be taken for the resolution of tribunal. Now this statement is correct because Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 as well as Indian Forest Act 1927 is outside the purview of National Green Tribunal. The National Green Tribunal has the power to hear all civil cases relating to environmental issues and questions linked with the following acts. First, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, Water Cess Act, Forest Conservation Act, Air Act, Environment Protection Act, Public Liability Insurance Act, and Biological Diversity Act. Now, which of the following statement given above is or are correct? From the above discussion, we can conclude that the statement 3 is correct, making option C the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option B was the right answer. Moving on to the second article of the day, which appeared in page 8 of the Hindu newspaper. The article explores why the month of March in Mumbai was relatively cooler. It establishes that the winds that were flowing east from the West Asia have been cooler and drier instead of being hot and humid. And this has created an unusual anticyclonic conditions over the Arabian Sea in the month of March. Climatic developments such as cyclones and anticyclones are important part of the geography syllabus, and it has been asked by UPSC before in the year 2020. On similar lines, here's practice question number 2. Consider the following statements with reference to tropical cyclones. Statement 1. These cyclones have a clockwise circulation in the northern hemisphere. Now this statement is incorrect because cyclones have anticyclonic circulation over the northern hemisphere. Statement 2. They generally move from east to west in direction. Now this statement is correct because under the influence of tropical easterlies, also known as trade wind, cyclonic conditions move along east to west directions. Statement 3. They are characterized by open isobars and the pressure gradient is very low. Now both these conditions are incorrect because cyclones are characterized by closed isobars as well as the pressure gradient is very steep. Now which of the given statements above is or are correct? From the above discussion, we can conclude that statement 2 is correct, thus making option C the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option C was also the right answer. Now let's have a look at the third article of the day, which appeared in page 8 of the Indian Express. The article reports that out of 10 posts for nominated members in the Legislative Council, the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh have proposed 6 names for the members to be nominated to UP Legislative Council. Now Legislative Assembly, Legislative Council, as well as their membership, composition and functioning forms an important part in the polity section. It is also important from the prelims point of view, which can be seen from this PYQ in the year 2019. This PYQ asked a question about state legislative assemblies in India. On similar lines, here's practice question number 3. With reference to Legislative Council of a state in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. 1/6 of the members are elected by the members of local bodies in the state. Now, this statement is incorrect because 1/3 of the members are elected by the members of local bodies. Statement 2. 1/12 of the members are elected by the teachers of 3 years standing in the state and they are not lower in standard than primary schools. Now, this statement is also incorrect because although 1/12 of the members are elected by the teachers, they are not to be lower than the standard of secondary schools. Statement 3rd. 1/12 of the total number of members of the Legislative Council are nominated by the governor. Now, this statement is also incorrect because 1/6 of the total members are nominated by the governor. Now, select the incorrect answer using the code below. From the above discussion, we have established that all the 3 statements are incorrect, thus making option D the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option A was the right answer. Now moving on to the 4th article of the day, which appeared in page 11 of the Indian Express. The op-ed highlights that the unseasonal rains may have dampened the prospects of bumper crops. However, with the use of right policy instruments, these blow can be softened. For example, over the last 6 years, as against the premium paid by farmers was only over 25,000 crores, the farmers have received claims of more than 1.25 lakh crores. This example is the testimony of the importance of crop insurance schemes in protecting the interest of the farmers. Now, government schemes have been asked by the UPSC before, which is apparent from this PYQ of the year 2018. On similar lines, let us practice question number 4. With reference to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The selection of insurance companies from among the impaneled insurance companies to act as an implementing agency shall be done by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Now, this statement is incorrect. Although the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation designates or impanels an insurance company to participate in the government-sponsored schemes, however, the selection of these insurance companies to act as an implementing agency is done by the state government. Statement 2. The uniform premium of 2% of maximum insurance charges are payable by the farmers. Now, this statement is incorrect. There are 3 types of premium paid by the farmers. 2% is for Kharif crops, 1.5% is for Rabi crops, as well as 5% is for horticultural crops. Statement 3. In case of post-harvest losses, coverage is available up to a maximum period of 14 days from the harvesting for those crops. Now, this statement is correct because coverage is available for a maximum period of 14 days for those crops which are kept in cut and spread conditions to dry in the field after harvesting against the specific perils of cyclonic rains, unseasonal rains throughout the country. Now, which of the following statements given above is or are correct? From the above discussion, we can conclude that the option B is the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option C was the right answer. Now moving on to the 5th article of the day, which appeared in the Indian Express, page 14. The article reports that the Patent Office in India has rejected an application for a secondary patent by Johnson & Johnson for its drug bedaquiline. As the 6-month course of this drug costs Rs 21,000 per person, evergreening of this patent may restrict the access of the drug, making it out of bounds for economically challenged patients. Diseases, their impact, and attempts to eradicate them are in news frequently, which makes it important from exams point of view. UPSC in the year 2015 has asked a question about diseases that have been eradicated from India. On similar lines, here's practice question number 5. In context of tuberculosis, consider the following statements. Statement 1. As per the National Strategy Plan, India plans to eliminate tuberculosis by the year 2030. Now, this statement is incorrect because National Strategic Plan for TB elimination was adopted in the year 2018 and it aims to eliminate TB in India by the year 2025. Statement 2. Bedaquiline, an injectable drug, is considered to be one of the most effective treatments available for drug-resistant tuberculosis. Now, this statement is incorrect. Although bedaquiline is one of the most effective drugs, it is meant for oral consumption and it is not an injectable drug. The drug has also promoted development of shorter courses of treatment for drug-resistant TBs, and it has halved the course of duration from 2 years to 9 months. It is also more effective than the existing kanamycin and streptomycin as it has minimal side effects. Now, which of the following statement given above is or are correct? From the above discussion, we can conclude that the option D is the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option C was the right answer. Now moving on to the last article of the day, which appeared in page 15 of the Indian Express. The article states that as the inflation has remained over the comfort zone, the RBI is likely to raise the repo rate by 25 basis points in the upcoming meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee. However, many economists are also of the view that the central bank may pause to see the impact of global banking crisis. Now, monetary policy falls under the exclusive domain of the Reserve Bank of India. Developments regarding this is critical to the functioning of Indian economy, thus making them important from prelims point of view. As you can see from the previous year question of the year 2015, which asked the question about components of monetary policy. On similar lines, here's practice question number 6. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding Monetary Policy Committee? Statement 1. The MPC shall determine the policy rate required to achieve the growth target. Now, this statement is incorrect because according to section 45 ZB, the Monetary Policy Committee is to determine the policy rate which is required to achieve the inflation target. Statement 2. The MPC shall consist of 6 members and 3 of these members are appointed by the central government. Now, this statement is correct because according to section 45 ZB of the RBI Act, the Monetary Policy Committee shall consist of RBI Governor, who is also the ex officio chairperson, the Deputy Governor in charge of monetary policy, an officer of the bank to be nominated by the Central Board, and 3 persons which are appointed by the central government. The last category of the appointments must be from persons of ability, integrity, and standing, as well as having knowledge and experience in the field of economics, banking, finance, or monetary policy. Statement 3rd. The Monetary Policy Committee is required to meet once every 2 months. Now, this statement is also incorrect because according to the RBI Act, the Monetary Policy Committee is required to meet at least 4 times a year. However, it can also meet if the situation demands. Now select the correct answer using the code given below. From the above discussion, we can conclude that the option C is the right answer. As far as PYQ is concerned, option C was the right answer.